we're going to talk to you about SafeAqua. Over 1 billion people go every day without access to safe and clean drinking water. This is about 1/7 of the global population. That means that about 4 to 5 of you would go today without access to clean drinking water.
In the time it took Brad to enlighten you with this statistic, a child has succumbed to a waterborne illness. In fact, every 15 seconds, a child dies as a result of a water-related illness. This is unsettling.
Well, this global water crisis is nothing new. I'm sure many of you have heard about this crisis going on throughout the world, and I'm sure many of you are even aware of some of the things that are being done to alleviate this crisis around the world.
As Brad has told, as we've just discussed, this is not a new issue, and it's just not the way it's supposed to be. All of our lives, we have had access to clean, safe water, but around the world, that's not the case. As we've learned earlier, 1/7 of the population doesn't have access to clean, safe water. In some countries, there's no water. In other countries, it's just there's plenty of water, but it's contaminated. This microbial contaminated water leads to adverse effects like diarrhea. The diarrhea leaves members of the community dehydrated and weak. These weak members of the community look to more of this water in order to quench that thirst that they've developed. By quenching the thirst, there's more diarrhea, and the problem just goes on and on. And we just feel that's not the way it's supposed to be. That is why we've started SafeAqua, an organization that's goal is to fight this global water crisis by providing safe and clean water alternatives. We plan to do this by educational programs, as well as just treating the water with a pretty specific treatment process that we'll get to in a bit. We feel that there are three aspects of this. There are three aspects to any good solution for bringing safe, clean water to developed nations. These aspects include widespread awareness. You can't treat a problem that is not recognized in the area that you are trying to solve the issue. Also, it must be low in cost. In these developed nations, they don't have much money to spend, so the treatment process must be cheap in order to provide an affordable good to your customer. And finally, it must be sustainable. And we will go into more detail in the following slides.
Like Joe mentioned, the first step is awareness. People aren't going to change their drinking water habits unless they're aware that something's wrong. And with this particular issue, you can't always see what's wrong with it. Microbes, bacteria, and the likes that are making people sick. So once we first identify a village to work within, we're going to work with the community leaders and officials to create a community-led awareness program focusing on the dangers of consuming this unsafe water.
After an adequate amount of awareness has been spread, the next phase of the project will begin, which involves a small water treatment facility. As we mentioned before, this water treatment facility must be done at a low cost. This is accomplished by using existing technology, including UV and sedimentation. There can also be more intensive things added to our process. For example, if a source of water is excessively murky, then UV and sedimentation alone likely will not combat this issue. Therefore, in a project like that, you would need to also add in some sort of sand filtration or activated carbon filtration. So we at SafeAqua will design this treatment facility. It's doesn't take much time, around 20 days or so, 20 days to a month, using the existing technology, the sedimentation tank, the UV bank, as well as other processes if needed. And we'll create a small water treatment facility that will provide clean and safe water within these developing countries.
Once construction is complete, there's a small-scale water treatment facility in the community. And then with limited contact with SafeAqua, the communities gain a sense of ownership of this treatment facility. And the revenues that from the water purchase go towards employing community members to run the facility, to handle the day-to-day operations and the maintenance. The maintenance is also covered through the revenue from the water. And now, this self-sustaining water treatment facility with this sense of ownership creates empowerment throughout the community and really allows them to help themselves from within.
So we are SafeAqua, and we feel our name says it all. We plan to bring safe and clean water within developing countries, one village at a time. We plan to do this by first addressing awareness. We plan to start community-led educational programs, spreading awareness throughout the community of the dangers of microbial contaminated water. Next, the low-cost water treatment facility using existing technologies. Finally, by training and operating a member within the community to care for this facility, this generates a source of pride within the community, and that individual from the community can go on and care for the facility for years to come, creating a sustainable solution. Any questions?